I want to take you back to January 2025. Back then, I was just your typical student working my day job at McDonald's and trying to figure out what I was gonna do with my life. But there was one thing that I knew for sure. I didn't want to work for anybody else ever again. I didn't want to trade my time for money working a 9-to-5 job when I could be spending my time doing whatever I wanted. And that's when it hit me. I want to start a business. But there was one problem. I had no idea what kind of business to start. I tried dropshipping, Amazon FBA, print on demand, but none of those were quite right. It wasn't until I discovered a different type of business model that allowed me to run my entire business from just my laptop, and that's when everything changed. Over the next few months, I dedicated myself to learning everything I could about this new business model. I read every book, I watched every YouTube video, and I took courses to learn from some of the top experts. I spent hours and hours researching and learning, but it was all worth it. Because once I finally understood how it worked, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. This is it. This is the business model that will allow me to live the life of my dreams. But I knew that theory was one thing, but actually making it work in practice was going to be a whole other challenge. So I got to work. I spent the next several months putting in long hours every single day building my business. There were days when I felt like I was making progress and other days when I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. But I just kept pushing through because I knew that if I didn't, then this would just be another failed business and I'd have to go back to working at McDonald's. Then one day, everything changed. I remember it was a random Tuesday when I got my first big order. I couldn't believe it. All of the hard work was finally paying off. From that moment on, my business took off. I was getting more and more orders every single day, and I was finally starting to make real money. That's when I knew that I had finally done it. I had built a successful business, and now I could finally quit my job at McDonald's and focus on growing my business full time. The first year in business was a wild ride. There were so many ups and downs, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I learned so much about myself and about business, and I grew so much as a person. And now here I am today, looking back on everything I've accomplished in the past year, and I can honestly say that I couldn't be happier. So what was this magical business model that allowed me to make 6 figures in my first year? It was online coaching. If you're anything like me, then you've probably heard of the term coaching before, but maybe you're not really sure what it means or how it works. Coaching is basically helping people improve in some area of their lives by providing them with guidance, support, and advice. For example, a life coach helps people improve in areas such as relationships, career, or personal growth. A business coach helps entrepreneurs improve their businesses by providing them with advice on things like marketing, sales, and operations. And an online coach does the same thing, but everything is done online. Now you may be thinking, okay, but why online coaching? Why not just traditional coaching? Well, there are a lot of benefits to online coaching. First of all, you can reach a much wider audience when you coach online because you are not limited to the people in your local area. You can coach people all over the world. Plus, online coaching is much more convenient for both the coach and the client. Clients don't have to travel to meet with you in person, and you don't have to set aside specific times in your schedule for coaching sessions. You can do it all online at your own convenience. One of the biggest benefits of online coaching is that you can charge a lot more for your services than you can for traditional coaching. This is because there is a much higher demand for online coaches than there is for traditional coaches. People are willing to pay a lot more for online coaching because it is more convenient and it produces better results. If you're wondering how much money you can make as an online coach, the sky's the limit. Some online coaches make a few $100s per month while others make millions. It all depends on your experience, your niche, and how much time you're willing to put in. When I first started out as an online coach, I was super nervous. I wasn't sure if people would be willing to pay for my services or if I would even be able to find clients. But I knew that I had something valuable to offer, and all I needed was a chance to prove it. I started by offering my services to friends and family, and they loved it. They told me that I was really good at what I did and that I should keep going. That gave me the confidence I needed to start taking on more clients, and eventually I was able to quit my job at McDonald's and focus on my coaching business full time. The first year in business was tough. There were times when I wasn't sure if I was going to make enough money or if I was even doing the right thing. But I pushed through because I knew that I had something special. And now I am here telling you all this because I want you to know that it is possible. It is possible to build a successful business from scratch, and it is possible to make a lot of money as an online coach. If you're struggling right now and you feel like you're not making enough money or you're not living the life you want, I want you to know that things can change. You can make a lot of money if you're willing to put in the work and if you're willing to learn new skills. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not possible. I've done it and so can you. Here's the thing. It's never been easier to start a business than it is right now. There are so many resources available to you that can help you get started, even if you have no prior experience. You can find courses, tutorials, books, and podcasts on every topic imaginable. Plus, there are so many communities of entrepreneurs who are willing to help you along the way. You might be thinking that you need a lot of money to start a business, but that's not true. In fact, some of the most successful businesses were started with very little money. With the internet, you can literally start a business from anywhere in the world with very little money. I've done it myself. I didn't have any money when I started my business, but I was able to use the resources available to me to get started. And now I'm here telling you that you can do it too. Maybe you're worried that you don't have the right skills to start a business, but that's not true either. The skills you need to start a business can be learned. You don't need to be a genius or have any special talent. All you need is the willingness to learn and the determination to succeed. I didn't know anything about business when I started my first business, but I learned everything I needed to know along the way. And I can tell you that you can do the same. If you're ready to take the leap and start your own business, I want you to know that I believe in you. I know that you can do it. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. I promise you that. As I sit here writing this video, I can't help but reflect on how far I've come in just a few years. When I first started out, I was just a kid with a dream and a laptop. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was determined to make it work. I remember spending countless hours researching and learning everything I could about my business. There were times when I felt like I was making progress and other times when I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. But I never gave up. I knew that if I didn't succeed, then I'd have to go back to working a 9-to-5 job. And that was something I didn't want to do. Looking back, I can see how my dedication and hard work paid off. Today, I'm running a successful business and I can't imagine my life any other way. I hope my story inspires you to pursue your own dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not possible. I was just a kid with a laptop and a dream and I made it happen. You can do the same. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. I appreciate your support and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.